This is one of the most versatile and important ingredients that you can have on your homestead that you probably didn't even know you could use it in all of these amazing and wonderful ways. And what am I talking about? Apple cider vinegar, specifically raw apple cider vinegar that still has the mother in it. However, it is incredible all of the different ways that you can use this simple ingredient that is probably in most of your kitchens. And we will be talking about how to know if it is actually raw apple cider vinegar that has the mother and is at full strength, because it can be easily fooled if you don't know what you're looking for at the brands or even on your ingredient label. But apple cider vinegar, again, specifically when it's raw, is truly incredible. Now, a lot of us are used to using this in some form of cooking in the kitchen, but I bet you didn't know that you could use this in all of these different ways for your health. Now, pretty incredible is using it for blood sugar and diabetes. And there are studies that show drinking 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in water can help lower blood sugar and help you manage your diabetes. Now, there's been some studies that have only been done on animals. So of course, just because something shows up a certain way with animals does not always mean it's going to react the same way in the human body. But there's usually a good indication that it will. And that is consuming on a daily basis, again, diluting it in water and drinking that. And it can help with blood pressure as well as cholesterol levels. And interestingly enough, there was a study done in Japan. Now, to be fair, this was minimal, but you can use it for weight loss. And in the study, and I have all of these notes for you in the blog post that accompanies this, and we have actually 29 ways that you can use apple cider vinegar at home. But in the health aspect of it, it did help increase the weight loss in the studies of people that drank this daily. So that's pretty incredible, just those 4 things there of using with your apple cider vinegar. One of the things that we need to talk about though is diluting your apple cider vinegar, both if you are ingesting it as well as using it topically. And there's some pretty incredible ways that we're going to be talking about using this topically as well. But you want to make sure that you dilute it. And so the best way to do that is to just do a couple of tablespoons in a glass of water, and the water will dilute it enough, and then you can consume that for internal. And if you don't, one, it can be pretty strong. And if you're taking it daily, which is how you're going to see the most impact on those benefits, it can be damaging to your tooth enamel as well as some of the soft tissue in the back of the throat and in the back of the mouth if you're taking it full strength. So dilution is your friend. Now, using it topically, again, you also are going to want to dilute it. So the first time that you go to use it topically, depending upon how sensitive your skin is, it's recommended to dilute it to 25% vinegar to 75% water. But vinegar can be great to use as a facial toner, and it's going to help get your pH balance back to a neutral state, because vinegar, of course, is acidic. Especially if you're using soap to wash your face, that's more alkaline, and so it can help balance the skin and also act as a toner by using it topically. So if you use product on your hair, I confess every now and then I use a little bit of hairspray, you can get a buildup. And so you can use apple cider vinegar as a wonderful rinse to help get that buildup off of your hair. And it's going to be 2 to 4 tablespoons of vinegar to 1 cup water. And you'll just want to shampoo as normal and then do a rinse in the shower on your hair. And you can also use it for your scalp. So if you have dandruff issues, you can use that. Make sure that you're going to apply it, rub it in really good to the scalp, and it can help with that as well. Some of the reasons that apple cider vinegar works so well for skin issues, including the dandruff and also using it as a toner, is because it does have antimicrobial properties as well as that pH balancing that we were talking about. And that pH balancing comes in as underarm treatment. So if you have ever used any natural deodorants that have baking soda in them, sometimes people will get a reaction because of the baking soda. And even though it works really well for a natural deodorant, the pH balance gets off. And that's usually why people, if they have a reaction to baking soda based natural deodorants, it's actually a pH issue. So because apple cider vinegar is acidic, you can apply that to the underarm, and that helps get your pH balance back. And so that can really help so that you can use those natural baking soda based deodorants and not have that underarm kind of, it's like a rashy, just kind of gets irritated skin issue, and that can help with that. Another way that people like to use apple cider vinegar is to dilute it with cold water and dab it on a sunburn. I know people swear that that helps, again, the dilution part. And for athlete's foot, dilute it again and soak your feet with a mixture of water and apple cider vinegar. And people swear that that can help with issues of athlete's foot. And another way that you can put this to work is to use homemade apple cider vinegar in both fire cider. So here, this is my homemade apple cider vinegar. This is fire cider. I have got a video on that, so you can go to the website and grab that or watch that here. And then homemade electrolyte drinks. Instead of using things like Gatorade or a lot of those different electrolyte drinks that you see or energy drinks on the store that have high fructose corn syrup in them, a ton of food dye, a lot of different preservatives that actually are not helping the body at all, you can make old-fashioned haymaker's punch or switchel and add some of the apple cider vinegar to that is an excellent way to go. And I also use apple cider vinegar when I am making my elderberry syrup. Now, if you want to learn more about using natural remedies and herbs, you're going to want to make sure that you are signed up and registered for the free live training that I am doing this September 27th. We'll put a link below. You can snag your seat and show up for that. But another thing you want to consider is if you're not making your homemade apple cider vinegar, and we've got a blog post on that on the website that you can go and check that out. There's going to be a lot of goodies for you to check out beneath this video. But that is finding a company that makes apple cider vinegar from whole apples. So you can make apple scrap cider vinegar, and I will make that at home when I have like the cores and peels and that type of thing. It's another great way to put them to use. But if you're looking for full potency, you want to make sure that the apple cider vinegar company that you're getting your vinegar from is using full apples, not just the cores. Organic is really important. Apples can be a very heavily sprayed pesticide crop. And so when I'm using anything that we're consuming, but especially as a natural medicine, I want to make sure that it doesn't have an added dose of pesticides with it. So organic apples. And you also want to make sure that it's not diluted. So if they're diluting it with water, then and then you dilute it yourself even further down, of course, you have to have it diluted a bit if you are consuming that internally. But I don't want to be paying for something that's mainly water and that has just thrown on for a small percentage of apple cider vinegar in there. Another thing you want to make sure is that it is actually raw apple cider vinegar, that it has the mother in it. And that's so that it has all of the wonderful live components to it, the good bacteria. And if it's pasteurized and or cooked, then you've lost all of that. So you want to make sure that it does say raw for all of the maximum health benefits on there. And Fairchild's is an organic apple cider vinegar. You can check them out. This video is sponsored by them at fairchildsvinegar.com. They never dilute their apple cider vinegar. They don't use cores. They always use whole, fresh apples. And so this is an excellent product, and it's unpasteurized with the mother. So you can see why this is one of the most amazing things that you probably already have in your kitchen cupboard that you can be putting to use versatility-wise on the homestead.